So, Apple have released a new version of Logic. It's Logic 11 with new features, new sessions players and stuff like that. AI related stuff as well, but I'm not going to take a much look at that today. Today I'm going to talk about an external synthesizer, my trusty Subsequent 37CV, and we are going to see how that works in a project using the M3 MacBook Pro over there. Look a little bit at this project and how it works with an external synthesizer. I actually had some MIDI issues with this Moog, and the MIDI issue was when every time I played a note here, the MIDI light would just light up and stay lit, and inside my DAW I would just get garbled data from the synthesizer. So what I had to do in this case, I had to go into the menu. So you go into the global menu and you go down to a setting that is called Init Settings. So you go there and you press this cursor button here, and then you have to hold the save button, so this one, hold it for 5 seconds. You see you get to count down there. I'm not going to do it now. And when I did that, the MIDI problems was solved in both Logic and Ableton. And I also just use the DIN MIDI connectors here connected to my audio card. I have removed the USB cable. I don't use that anymore. It seems like it works better with the integration of the PC when you just use the trusty old MIDI stuff. So yeah, let's go into Logic and take a look at some of the new features and this track. Okay, so here is a short demo of the final thing we're going to take a look at today. This is under construction, obviously. So getting the Moog into Logic 11 is pretty easy. You just create a software instrument track and you load up the external instrument plugin here. It doesn't look that fancy, but you go here and you select the MIDI destination. So in my case, I'm using the MIDI destination on the RMA Fireface. So it's USB port, MIDI port 1, and it's MIDI channel 1. And audio input, it's audio input 5 from my Fireface card, and I also tick this compensate latency button. That's basically it. Then I could go into here, I can add create a MIDI clip, and it will play the audio from the external synthesizer. And obviously I have some effects on here, but if I just turn off the effects, we get the raw sound from the synthesizer. So that's the Moog in this track at least. I really like the synthesizer. It's really versatile, works for a lot of different stuff, and in this case it's a rolling bass line, obviously, with some delay and reverb, and you shouldn't really have that on bass, but well, it works pretty good there, and I don't put a lot of effects on the only over around 200 Hertz, so it's probably all right. So a lot of you may be wondering if you get this the Subsequent editor working. So I have it working here, and you can see it takes a little while, and it should get the information from the synthesizer. No, actually not doing that now, but if I turn the cutoff knob, you see that it kind of works. And when I turn the cutoff knob, you can see that in the top right corner there, it blinks the Moog logo. In this case, it seems like this is working just fine for me. And again, I don't have the USB connected on my Moog. I'm only using MIDI connectors. And I can kind of make automations on the Moog track here while it's playing at the same time. And this seems to work fine in Logic. I have had some problems with it in Ableton, and I had some problems in Windows also. But here you can see I'm automating the cutoff, and we can see on the plugin here, hopefully that you can see that it moves, if my head is not in the way here. Yeah. And if we look at under setup here, you can see that it's using the USB MIDI port 1, MIDI channel 1. And yeah, here are the settings. And it works with presets and everything. So for me, that's pretty cool because I've had some problems with the Moog earlier, but that was solved with resetting the Moog from the menu. Here we have a track I'm working on. You could say that the bass of the track is actually the Moog. It's this kind of bass line. That's the heart of the track, and then we obviously need to have a kick and some kind of plucked sounds like this. I'm going to go into the effects later on. We can just take a listen to the different things here. Yeah, you get the point. I use some of the new features in Logic. I just wanted to try them out. I usually use Ableton Live, but on external instrument here, we are using the EQ as usual here, taking off from 60 Hertz. And then I'm using the ChromaVerb. I really love this type of reverb. It sounds really great. So if I solo this, okay, we can go to this part here. So if I turn it off, so I'm using the preset under Synth Reverbs and Greek Wash. And I think I brought this one down, try to not affect the low end as much. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Included effect in Logic. A lot of effects in Logic are really, really good. And then I use LFO tool, obviously, to duck the bass for the kick here. And if we go to the automation lane, you can see that I'm automating the cutoff on the Moog synth session. Actually, I don't know what's happened here, but this has to be here. Yeah, so I'm automating the cutoff. So I'm automating the cutoff on the instrument plugin. So I'm automating the cutoff here. So it's not MIDI CC, it's the VST or audio unit in this case then. Then we have this kind of locked thing. So I like a lot of stuff Diva does, or Yuhi. So it's Diva, Repro, they have a lot of synthesizers giving you that kind of analog feel. So this is the basic sound it's from Repro. And you can see that I'm automating the cutoff here. But as for effects, so I wanted to just show this on the Repro. I'm using the channel EQ obviously to take off some of the low end here. Then I'm also using ChromaGlow. So this is a new plugin in Logic 11. So this is kind of this is a saturator, can be compared to like FabFilter, Saturn or others. So listen when I turn it on. Makes it a little angrier. I love the sound from it. It's awesome. So with everything here, just yeah, so that's the raw sound, but I also have another effect on this as well. So we have some stereo delay here. Dotted notes. And then I'm also using this ChromaVerb here. I'm using the same Greek Wash preset I used on the Moog synthesizer. I think this really sounds good. I think this sounds awesome. Turn it off. And it's not too much, I think. And then LFO tool and, you know, everything here together. Yeah, then we have some kind of effects here. It's just Diva, and then we have some pads. So this is Serum. You turn off the effects and we get this. And then we have Chroma Reverb again here from Apple. We have some saturation here again. We'll get this awesome sound. And I think that to use this saturation, or to use some of these algorithms, you actually have to have an M-based Mac. So you can have the lowest end M1 MacBook Air, for example. That works fine. But you can't use it with Intel Macs if you have a really old or older Mac. So that's good to know. And that's the same on the mastering thing here. So I just threw this on. I had to just make a version of this and upload it to SoundCloud to just show a friend of mine. And I think this mastering, it's really good actually. I think it's, so if I turn it off, so if we go here, and I turn off the mastering here. And then I turn it on. It sounds really good, and you can see it have this kind of custom EQ thing here. So this is some kind of Gullfoss mastering type of thing, I think. So you can then you can adjust how much EQ you want on your final master here. Then you can adjust the dynamics, the loudness. I think that's the final output volume. I'm not really sure. And then you have some different types of algorithms here. So punch, so mine is on punch. But you can have it to clean. So this is really helpful for people that might not really know how to mix a track, and I think this is a great tool actually. So some of you also like to see some of the how the performance is on this. So I'm going to set this to medium process buffer range. It's on 512 buffer size, and I'm going to set it at 16 12 high performance cores processing threads. So we're going to apply that. So I'm going to play back this track now, and you will be able to see here how this affects the performance. And you can see that I have OBS running, so I'm screen recording at the same time. I have closed Chrome and my mail and my other applications, so it's only screen recording and Logic running here. So I'm going to just play the track, and you can see in real time how the performance works here. Well, it had no problems running this track at least, but I have only 10 tracks and maybe 4 or 5 effects on each of these tracks, and I'm actually only using the built-in effects in Logic, and those are performs really good. So we have seen that in other tests as well. So yeah, this track, at least I think you could play that on an M1 Mac Mini or MacBook Air or something like that, and when I get my things together I can try to test it on my wife's M1 MacBook Air. But yeah, just wanted to show you a little bit about an external instrument in the new update of Logic with the newest M3 Max MacBook Pro, and it seems to work pretty good. Check out my SoundCloud if you want to listen to more of my tracks. I put some work in progress stuff out there, and this is obviously a work in progress. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Goodbye.